part of that process, sort of 3 years ago, we were designing a lot of control rooms, and what we realised is that people have quite poor spatial awareness. People often, we're dealing with the operators, we're dealing with people who work in these kinds of environments. They're experts in their environments, they know how to run their plant, their infrastructure, their assets, but they don't necessarily know, they're not architects. They don't always understand best relationships between humans and technology, humans and the environment around them, that kind of thing. So what we used to do to overcome these issues, because what we did a lot is design in CAD. So paper-based plans get sent off to the client, they look at them with their team, scribble on them, send notes back, and then, you know, maybe a week later, changes are made, the plans are sent off again, people comment on them, so forth. It's a very time-consuming process. It doesn't allow a lot of creative thinking a lot of the time, because people go between their 500 emails they get a day, they look at these plans, mark them up, send them back. And it doesn't always enable people to maybe really sit down and understand their environment. So a way we tried to overcome that was by having MDF models. So we would use very simple structures, create these consoles or the pieces of furniture in a real environment, in a real scale, and people would come in and move them and push them around. Very, very wasteful though, very time consuming. If you wanted to make a change, you had to go to the workshop, get the changes made, that kind of thing. So we thought, well, we're a technology company, there has to be a better way. So that's how we developed Cadwalk. So what Cadwalk is, it's a series of projectors. So we have 3 projectors that do a channel on the floor, and then a 4th that does the wall display. We have these tracking trees, as we call them, which have unique arrangements of tracking balls on them. And these get tracked by these little blue circles that you see all around the room. They're motion tracking cameras, so like what's used in Hollywood a lot of the time. So instead of them being attached to people's trees, you have them on people's faces, like we were talking about before. What we then do, we are able to assign these trees to any kind of object. So in this example, we have the control room, obviously. As I mentioned, this is a real project. And it then allows us or designers or anybody to sort of grab an object, move it. It goes red when it hits another object, so when it collides with something. And we're also moving it in real time up on the screen. So people can see relationships to windows, to entranceways, whatever it may be in that sort of environment. So it's a very, very fast way for people to try alternatives. So they might want to have the consoles all facing this way, sort of have this guy in the middle, and then sort of work through this scenario. They can bring in real chairs into the environment, and they can sit here and go, okay, if I'm working, I can't see this guy. If I need to communicate with the person at the front, that's not going to work. Okay, fantastic. Let's spin these around. Start to notice how big spaces are when you have to walk up and down them 15 times. So I mean, I've skipped a few steps here, but this was roughly the design that they came up with. So what we discovered in this project, that happened in a day. What it would have taken between 3 to 6 months to do an email, and they may still not have come to the same realization and the same positioning, because they originally focused on putting people further away from each other, and and really much more spread out in the room. And by doing this, they realized that being co-located is very, very important for them. So the other thing that we have in here, we have a ruler, so sort of like a tape measure, so we can very quickly check things like egress. This is definitely still too close because we need 1.2 metres. And with that as well, the people are empowered to make their designs themselves rather than relying on assumed knowledge a lot of the time. What else we can do is if we sort of know, right, we're very happy with the position of these, we can also attach and detach the trees from the objects very, very quickly. And then of course come back and so say you have a room and you maybe have 50 desks in there. You might only want to move 10 at a time or group them together. So really quick way of attaching objects as well. We do have a graphical user interface where we can attach other models, and I'll show you that in a moment. But from this afternoon we'll have a surface as well. So you can stand out here and bring in different models. So say we wanted to try desks that were straight or U-shaped. We can very quickly load them in and model them up. We don't even have to model them up, we can just bring them straight into the space and have clients evaluate them in real time as well. So that was a very, very quick introduction to sort of, I guess, some of the elements. I heard you're in the hospital design business. Yeah, I'll bring up a quick model for that as well, and then we can maybe have a look at an MRI machine and that kind of thing as well. Yeah, two secs.
Fine.